Welcome to ET Now Market Summit 2026, where the brightest minds in investing came together to share their insights. Let's join this exclusive fireside chat on finding the next multi-bagger opportunities with private investor Vijay Kedia.
When it's a Friday evening, who better than Vijay Kedia to join ET Now 17th birthday celebration? What should retail investors be doing right now in this market? जहाँ इतना noise है, इतना volatility है, what is the future for investors?
The market, every euphoria market turns into a crisis. This is what data suggests. This is what we have seen in the market if you see the 50 years history, So every crisis will turn into an opportunity. And this is what happened. Between 2021 and 2024, people made a lot of money. Not in percentage term, but they multiplied their money. So now this is the side effect of, जिसको बोलते हैं प्यार के side effect है. तो ये प्यार के side effect है भाई. So yeah, wait, it's going on for 2 years, for last 2 years. But I think, like everybody is also saying, that table is going to turn, Things are going to change. But one thing what I feel that investors should keep it in mind, that whichever stocks are performed in the past may not perform in the future. Whichever shares have multiplied in the last bull market may not participating in the next bull market. So it is a rotation theme. So theme is concerned, it is on a rotational basis. So now you have to do, your homework, and whatever has given you money, not necessarily that is going to give you money. So you have to be have money. You have to be careful in this market. But ultimately, I think people will make big money if you can sense what is the emerging theme in this market. Then you will make big money.
So where are you sensing the next emerging theme? Considering even Rhythm Desai just said कि पैसे बनाने हैं तो विजय केडिया से पूछो कहाँ स्टॉक में डालना है?
नहीं वो तो उनको जवाब नहीं देना था इसलिए मेरे पे टाल दिया तो अलग बात है. So मेरे को I think the next theme for next 10 years theme I have given acronym to it. It is like RISE, So this RISE theme is going to make money for investors. And in this RISE, I will tell you that R stands for renewable. So renewable and energy transition. Because I feel like what oxygen is important to the body, same way energy is important to a nation. Energy runs a nation, like oxygen runs us. So I think this is a new theme, maybe because of AI and data center, or whatever. So many people have spoken about that. So I think this R stands for renewable energy and energy transition. That should do well. And I stands for infrastructure and logistics. So I think this is again a sunrise theme. And S is for security. It could be defense and it could be cyber security, because defense security also requires cyber security. So that is going to be a play out. That is going to become a very big theme. What I feel that nowadays things have become so much depending on data, a nation depending so much on data, that you don't have to, even if you attack, like suppose, I had said somewhere else, like if I suppose attack your data center through cyber security, breach of cyber security, your entire system will become, standard. So this is what S stands for security and cyber security, and E stands for emerging technology. So whether it is either AI or a data center or EV or payment gateway or whatsoever. So this emerging technology. So I think this is what I am focusing upon. If investors focus on this theme, they should make money in next 10 years.
आपने बोला renewables, infra, security और emerging technologies. Securities का अगर हम देखें तो डिफेंस में काफ़ी उछाल आया है स्टॉक्स में. वहाँ पर भी emerging technologies काफ़ी आ रही हैं. तो आपको क्या दिख रहा है, किस तरह की टेक्नोलॉजीज दिख रही है और भारत में कौन कौन से कंपनीज हैं जो कर रही हैं?
So इसमें डिफेंस का तो सब everybody knows about defense.
वो तो
it's an old story.
PSU पैक हो गया वो. हाँ.
Yeah, and at P wise also it's very expensive discount wise. So I'm not investing into that kind of security. But I've invested in few cyber securities companies. So those are newly listed in the market, So I am invested in all of them. Whatever, there are 4 companies listed, I'm invested. But there is a caveat. One should remember that things are changing, technology is changing so fast. You never know. Whatever we feel that today is the 100% guaranteed. There is nothing called guaranteed in this market. Yeah. So today we feel that it could make money for us. Maybe tomorrow technology changes. So that is why you have to be on your toes every given time. So this is what I mean. Yeah.
सिक्योरिटीज़ में भी वॉरफेयर चेंज हो चुका है. आप देखते हैं कि वी यूज्ड टू हैव big missiles, high cost missiles. Now it's a drone system, low cost, high impact security, cyber security. You mentioned that that's from the web point of view, but from the low cost, high impact. आपको वहाँ पर you are seeing opportunities in some small and mid cap companies which are working really well on that space.
नहीं, इसमें मैं एक बात ये बताना चाहूँगा, इसमें ज़्यादातर जो शेयर्स हैं, जो जैसे आप नाम लीजिए, जैसे साइबर सिक्योरिटी में भी जो भी, ये सारे शेयर्स अनलिस्टेड कैटेगरी के अंदर में, ये लिस्टेड
कभी ना कभी तो मार्केट में आएंगे.
हाँ, वो आएंगे. तो आपको आइदर यू इन्वेस्ट इन अनलिस्टेड कंपनीज और यू वेट फॉर देम टू गेट लिस्टेड. तो डिफेंस के अंदर में भी ऐसा ही हो रहा है. स्टार्टअप में इतने इतने काम हो रहे हैं. अभी जैसे ब्रह्मोस की आपने बात किया, कोई मिसाइल विसाइल का कोई बात किया, वो भी कोई बेंगलोर की या चेन्नई की कोई कोई स्टार्टअप है जो उसमें इन्वॉल्व है. तो ये टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी तेज़ी से चेंज हो रही है इसके अंदर में. तो ये जो नया स्पेस जो है स्टार्टअप्स का, ये इट इज़ गोइंग टू प्ले अ वाइटल रोल. तो उसके अंदर में लेकिन कॉमन इन्वेस्टर की वहाँ पर पहुँच नहीं है, बिकॉज दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड विच इज़ वर्थ इन्वेस्टिंग, विच इज़ नॉट वर्थ इन्वेस्टिंग. क्योंकि इसमें से 10 में से एक कंपनी है जो सक्सेस होगी, 9 कंपनी वो फेल हो जाएगी. सो ये थोड़ा ये जो है ये थोड़ा ट्रिकी है. तो इसके बोल के बेटर है कि आप जो लिस्टेड कंपनी है जिसका कोई ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, वो कभी मार्केट गिरता है उसके अंदर में अगर आपको लो पी में अगर मिलता है तो आपको उसमें इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, विच इज़ द सेफर रूट.
और
इंफ्रा में तो बहुत कंपनियाँ, इतनी इतनी इंफ्रा कंपनियाँ हैं, वो सब ऊपर से 1/3 भाव में मिल रही है. आप जो भी आप 5, 7, 10 आप नाम लेंगे, लार्सन को छोड़ दीजिए, लेकिन उसके अलावा लार्सन के अलावा जो बाकी नीचे की कंपनी है वो सब 1/3 और हाफ होता है, 40, 60, 70% डिस्काउंट में मिल रही है. और सबके आप पास देखिए, एवरी वीक यू विल सी ऑन और योर टीवी चैनल कि इस कंपनी को 2000 करोड़ का ऑर्डर मिल गया, इसको 500 करोड़ का मिल गया, 700 करोड़ का ऑर्डर मिल गया. तो ये इनका ऑर्डर बुक बनते जा रहे हैं इनको, और अभी एग्जीक्यूट करने वाले बहुत कम हैं. जो पहले इंफ्रा के अंदर में समझिए 100-150 कंपनी होगी एग्जीक्यूट करने वाली, अभी अच्छी एग्जीक्यूट करने वाली लिस्टेड स्पेस में तो 4-5 ही कंपनियाँ. तो इस बोलकर ये पूरा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होगा, और बिना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के इंडिया कुछ होने वाला भी नहीं है, बिकॉज स्टिल वी आर फार बिहाइंड. तो इसमें जो लिस्टेड है उसके अंदर में शेयर सस्ते, उसमें दिमाग लगाना चाहिए.
So Vijay, one is the rise theme, but you are an investor. I remember 3 or 4 years back, you were the first one who said, "I am buying China." Right? You were the first one in the March lows who said, "Ki buy the market now." You've been very ahead of the herd, and you've taken those contra bottom-up bets. What is that large, sizable bet that you can spot in this market right now and globally? Let me not just stick it to India.
So ahead of the curve में तो ये ऐसा है कि जब लाइन घूमती है तो आप सबसे पीछे रह जाते हो, तो वो तो टेम्परेरी है, वो ahead of the curve का बात है. और so far Chinese is concerned, yes, I had bought some ETF that your Hong Kong stock ETF was it's listed here in NSE and all that. I had bought that, but last week I exited because I found maybe that Chinese economy may do well, but maybe Chinese stock, although I got 50% return in 1.5 or maybe 2 years time, so that is okay. So but I have sold all my Chinese ETF and all. Now again I'm focusing on Indian market. So this is one change, and meaningful stake. I bought some stake in one solar company, it's integrated solar plant. I have taken some percentage into that company. So I'm bullish on solar, as I said.
For the seasoned investor, and perhaps that's also a reason why the market was flat, because there was so much money last year at least, which was going in private equity and which was going a lot in IPOs as well. Till, of course, the March fall happened. Within the private equity space, because you are a large investor there, where do you find these big sizable opportunities right now?
So I am focusing on deep tech companies, like again, of course, cyber security companies, and plus related to power, whatever the rise theme. Actually, I said I am focusing on that rise theme, and mainly into last week only I invested in one company which is into solar pump and all, rooftop solar and solar pumps and all, which is like it is PM का भी है ना, PM कुसुम योजना, PM सूर्य घर एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, वो सब जो गवर्नमेंट का जिधर फोकस है, तो मेरा फोकस उधर है जिधर गवर्नमेंट का फोकस है. सिंपल एक बात है, उस पर प्लसेस भी है माइनसेस भी है उसके अंदर में, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली दे आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन गवर्नमेंट. So people don't like to be dependent. All these infrastructure stocks, as you said, They couldn't do well in last 2-3 years because they were fully dependent on government money, and government was busy in distributing freebies and all. So all like free electricity, free ye yojana, bhain yojana, bhai yojana, sab bhanji yojana. So all these actually couldn't get money from the government. That is why they suffered. तो लेकिन इसके अंदर में गवर्नमेंट हैज़ गिवन प्रायोरिटी कि उनका एक टारगेट है कि हाँ भाई ये सोलर पंप और ये उनको प्रायोरिटी के अंदर में लगाने का है. तो आई हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन विच इज़ एट मैंने अनलिस्टेड स्पेस. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट द लेटेस्ट आई डिड.
जाते जाते एक आपकी नई नज़्म हो जाए.
मैं किसी को भी ना समझ में तो आए, तो बढ़ता बढ़ता क्यों गिर गिर जाए, ये 90% लोग क्यों पैसे गवाए, जो सोचा समझा खूब समझ में ये आए, जो लेके गए बैठ वही तो है कमाए. आंखों को खोलो भैया, थोड़ा तो सोचो भैया, 10 में से 9 लोगों का खोता ट्रेडिंग में रुपया. लगता है सीधा साधा पर है ये भूल भुलैया, कोई भी बच ना पाया BA CA या MBA.
100%, as they say in emoji language. But Vijay Kedia, thank you so much for your time today. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to ET Now Market Summit 2026. As Indian households increasingly move from traditional saving to strategic investing, what is driving this transformation? Let's hear the insights on this special discussion with Kailash Kulkarni, CEO HSBC Mutual Fund.
Well, I have with me Kailash Kulkarni from HSBC Mutual Fund, the CEO, to talk about today the shift in household wealth from savers to strategic investors. Wanted to understand though, what do you think has led to this kind of evolution of the Indian investor?
I think the answer is pretty obvious, but we don't like to call it out. I think the main answer to this is COVID. And we should really thank COVID. What COVID did was open the eyes of the clients to the liquidity factor. So you had a house, you couldn't sell it. Your business was shut. Some people didn't have money. There's no salary. You needed money. And they realized that liquidity is a cost. And India, people used to buy 2 houses, 3 houses, multiple things. So suddenly real estate, they realized it's not easy to unlock it as what was thought earlier because it was a buyer's market. So that changed the perception. Second, very important, technology. I think all these apps which are there in the market, the ease of which the integration has happened across onboarding to transaction, you can literally do it within 5 minutes. I think that's been a big change of behavior. So I think if you combine the two of factoring illiquidity, second, factoring the fact that you can actually make money because now historical data was there to show for 20 years that mutual funds have done well. Third, the mutual fund distributors have played a large part in terms of working towards a goal-based planning. And a lot of investors now work towards goal-based planning. So 10 years back, if these kind of markets were there, choppy, I can guarantee you the sell button would have been hit very often. But now they don't hit the sell button, they do consult. So I think these are the slight changes that have happened in the investor behavior. And you're right, it's really from 2021 onwards that you're seeing this very robust investor behavior that we have.
Had it not been for technology, you think this democratization of financial savings that one has seen at scale and at mass, that wouldn't have happened?
Yes, of course it is. But the reason why so many people shifted was the fact that they realized that when you need money, you need to factor in that liquidity. And today, we have lots of anecdotal examples, where clients said, I needed money and actually I could redeem my mutual fund unit. I couldn't even go to the bank to redeem my FD because my bank was 10 kilometers away and I had to take my FD certificate to the bank and it was not allowed, right? So I think those were the baby steps which kind of fueled the whole tech and the whole idea of why mutual funds should be looked at in a more positive light. Till then, it was more a short-term, thode paise bana lo kind of a game. But serious money started to coming in after that. And if you look at our SIP numbers, it's a testimony to that. Till 2020, what was the size of our SIP? And look at it after that. Yeah. It's just kind of hit a J curve.
Having said that, given this market volatility that one is currently seeing in the challenging times, do you ever wonder that the SIP investor, which has not seen a bear market, has been patient, yes, but it's only small ticket money that we've seen trickle in.
So,
since 2020, they've pretty much seen a one-way move up in the market. Do you worry that at some point they could redeem?
the answer to this is actually yes and no. So let me say why yes first, okay? It's the younger investor who is more adept at using the fintech apps to transact. And you know, it's literally they order a Uber to go to a party, and while the Uber is coming, what do? They open their app and buy a mutual fund or sell a mutual fund. Or they say, oh, this new gizmo has come in the market, I need to buy it, they buy and sell it. I think it is those people who get shocked quickly when this volatility happens. So we haven't seen a bear market, but have we seen a scary market in the last 12 months? The answer is yes. A lot more calls have come to us, a lot more people are asking us questions. But that's what I'm saying. Earlier, people would just send the redemption to the office. Now they are asking questions, what should we do? And we can now, the beauty about tech is that you got data to show to every investor that, you know, this happened in 2008, this happened in 2000, this happened in later on. And every time this has happened in COVID, the markets fell 30% plus within like 15 days. So you lost a lot of money. But when the recovery happens, all those units that you have accumulated at the lower end actually tend to go up. So I think data plays a very important part. And today with the infographics being made like this, you know, little drop of a hat, anybody can put in a few lines and the artificial intelligence just gives you a beautiful infographic. I think it. No, I answered the yes. Let me tell you why I'm not so worried about it. Is because the investors are asking questions. I mean, we do have distributors in this room, and you can ask them. They aren't seeing too much redemption. Yes, the redemptions are there, but it's not peaked, despite 15 months not being very good. So they are patient, and we hope that gets rewarded in a short time to come.
Hope so. Since you are talking about data points, I do have one, and this is SEBI Investor Survey 2025, though, which is actually revealing a very striking gap. It says that 63% of households are aware of securities market products, but only 9.5% out of that 63% actively invest. Why do you think such a large gap?
So this is a 2025 survey, right, of SEBI. So 2025 is when the market's starting going extremely topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
So when a new investor wants to come into the market, he hesitates because he would have seen a 1.5% correction just the previous day. So he just wants to play it careful. So that's one reason. The second reason actually is a little funny, according to me. The new investors, and by the way, in 24-25, we added about 8 lakh new investors in the industry, first-time industry investors. So it's not a small number at all. And hopefully the markets recover quickly, like some of the other panelists were saying, in a short time. You will see this number going to 1.5 crore for a year very easily. Okay, so the gap also is because I think as an industry where we have not done well, okay, is we are too technical in our conversations. Okay, we talk of ratios, we talk of short forms, we talk of terms used globally. The retail investor does not understand that. Okay? Again, we are a very English and to some extent Hindi We are not Marathi, we are not Bengali, we are not Tamil, we are not Kannada, we are not Assamese, we are not Gorkha. We are not that in terms of communication. So, you wear a tie and a suit and you go to a Udupi joint. You do get some stares, right? Who's this person who's come to this Udupi joint? Well, it's like that. So if you're going to talk too technical, sometimes people believe that this product may not be for us. I don't understand this 3-year forward, 2-year, rolling returns, etc., etc. They want a simple thing. Is this giving me better than my FD returns? What kind of safety is there? And they want it in the local language. I think that's something we as an industry have not done very well. And that's one of the reasons this big gap exists.
Also, I wanted to talk about, urban participation stands at about 15%, while rural is just 6%. And we've had conversations earlier on ET Now, and we've talked about tier 2, tier 3 cities, beyond metros. When is it that you see active participation increase from those geographies?
So if you take the same number and do it on number of transactions, you'll have a very different statistics. Okay, today the number of SIPs which are coming in from the beyond 30 cities is outpacing the SIPs coming from the top 30 cities. Okay, the reason why we see this data is we are very AUM centric. I think as an industry, and I've said this 10, 12 years back, I requested the regulator, please stop ranking us on AUM and rank us on number of investors added to the industry. That's what is mutual fund all about.
So given the demographic dividend, given that the average age in India is 28 years old now, in the next 10 years, where do you think household contribution to financial savings would stand at, and specifically to mutual funds?
Well, we were like low single digits in 21. We have now reached low double digits. So in 4 years, it's gone exponentially up. Can we see a 30%, 40% in the next 10 years? Why not? Because the engagement levels are improving between distribution partners and clients. Tech is enabling more people to come into our industry. Awareness is growing. I think Amphi is doing a phenomenal job in terms of sending the right messages. We started with mutual fund sahi hai, and now we are talking about patience because of volatility in the market, and you all have seen all those ads.
Yeah.
So I think the industry, I've never seen an industry so good, by the way. We have a unified KRA. We have a unified KYC. Onboarding is the fastest. If I as HSBC go and tell this anywhere in the world to the global partners, they're shocked. They actually say you 50 AMCs have come together and any one client gets approved in any AMC, all 50 can sell because they are unified KYC. I said, yeah, and how long does it take? And they said it's like in minutes, and they just can't believe it. So India is at a different level, a different plane when it comes to being investor-centric. I think that's kudos to this industry. I don't think any other industry has done this in the financial services world. I'm not even talking non-financial services. So I see a lot of positivity. So I don't see any other reason why we should not have that.
Okay, on that note, and kudos to you as well for being part of the industry.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for your time.